The following is a presentation of TFNN. Live at TFNN, the Bull Bear Binary Option Hour. Brought to you by Nadex. Now, Tom O'Brien, Darrell Martin, and Steve Rhodes.
Welcome, folks. Darrell Martin, Steve Rhodes. Darrell Martin, Tom O'Brien. I love it. Steve just got off. He's taking a little time off right now. He's he got a little toothache, I guess. Rubbing that tooth. It's a beautiful thing. Market-wise, folks, you get the Dow down 159 right now. Nasdaq's off 50. S&Ps are down 19. You get gold up 14. The bonds are up $1.22. King dollar's down 17. And, folks, if you happen to be in the New England area, Darrell and I are going to be up there on May 11th. May 11th is a Saturday morning from 8:30 to 12:30. Nadex is sponsoring a workshop up there. It's a free workshop, folks, so if you want to take advantage of 4 hours of great education, come over to our website and sign up. If you haven't test drove the Nadex platform yet, you can hit that banner right on the top of our page on the side. Get an account up and going right now. They'll put $25,000 of funny money in you. And we are going to walk you through this. And this volatile market is heaven for traders, period. But in that Nadex product and platform, it's just pretty amazing. So how you been, brother?
Man, I'm doing great. How are you doing? It's been a great morning.
Yeah, it's you know, yeah. And what you have here, folks, is this. Okay, when you get a gap down like this, you know, the bottom line is that you're gapping right into a lower swing point. The amazing part is that, you know, you had Europe's down to over 2%. Well, the FTSE's down 1.9, but the rest of them are down 2.1. We're still only down 1.1 versus to 1.5. You know, and I suspect, you know, we're going to bounce around here. The volatility's here, but because of the fact that we haven't been down for so long, when you look like you're down, you know, $100 or $50 in the Nasdaq, it looks like a lot. Well, the bottom line is that my take is it's only the beginning. So what are we looking at out here today?
Well, you know, all sorts of things going on. Obviously, a lot of the moves have already happened. The news came out this morning. I mean, today was one of those days where if you're a trader, you get up early and you trade, and
totally,
and it's a Friday on top of that.
Yeah, totally.
So, you know, Fridays usually calm down. And we had the non-farm payrolls. We had the employment change, the trade balance, the unemployment rate, the average hourly earnings. All that came out. We had 6 high-impact reports come out at one time on the USD CAD.
Yes.
So we had 3 high, like some of the most important reports that come out on the CAD came out, you know, today. 3 of those same reports came out today on the USD. So I hopped in, you know, bull bear binary out here. I'm trading Nadex. And hop on and trade a news trade this morning, and the thing just takes off. Actually, the chart I have up on the screen right now, if you're watching this over on Tiger TV,
yes,
you can see it. And I went in this morning and I bought this USD straddle, USD CAD straddle, and I bought the 1.02, 1.0140 to, let's see, get the right one on the screen here, but yeah, 1.0140 to 1.0240 straddle, and so right here before the news comes out, hopping on in and. You know, as I like to do all the time, is sort of draw the box on the chart, you know?
Right.
Makes it easy to see it. And so if you're watching, basically, right here, this is a straddle. You're going to make money up to this point right here, okay? On that straddle right there. And I went in and, you know, I bought it with a really, you know, low risk on the trade. And I can even tell you my exact order price that I got filled on there. Let's see. So USD CAD got filled on the 1.0140 to 1.0240 at... Let's see, 1.01. Let's see, I almost got it up here. I know it's going to be right around there. But let's see, got filled at 1.0121. So the risk on that trade, 1.0121, that was the sell side. So 1.0152 on the buy side. So 1.0152 gives me a $12 risk.
Okay.
So I bought it literally 12 ticks above the floor right here. So I could literally put it
How sweet is that? Right.
Yeah, so I bought it like right there. Now, of course, I didn't know it was going to go up or down And so I went both directions.
Right, and that's what Darrell's saying here, folks. This is what he does quite a bit. And what you're just looking for is monster volatility, which we got in spades out here. There's no two ways about it, man. You talk about a move, right? It was pretty amazing, man.
Oh yeah, well, I mean that was I'm looking at it, and my take profit. I mean, this is how much volatility was built in. My take profit was at a 2 deviation move.
Okay.
So I'm like, wow, that's sort of big. But I mean, it's 6 high impact announcements.
Right.
Right. And so to take my profit for 100% return, on my trade, which I mean, 100% return in a few minutes isn't too bad, right?
No.
But
no, seriously.
So
right.
To do that, like I was going to need to move, like basically a 2 deviation move up or down. And so on the sell side, we're looking over here, and the sell order on there was that was the 1.0121. And you can sort of see, this is a beautiful thing right here. This is the thing that people sometimes just don't get when they're looking at these boxes.
Yes.
Okay, so we're selling this thing over here like 1.0121, like right at this price. And this chart looks like, what is this? It doesn't make any sense. But here's what's happening is the ceiling of the spread
right
is 1.0140. So right here, the top of this box, okay?
Yes.
So with the ceiling of the spread being all the way up at 1.0140, it can't lose.
Exactly. No, I'm with you.
Any more money. Like it stopped losing. So it's priced right now like at 1.0138 because it can't lose any more money. And so since the short one stops losing,
right,
that's where the long one picks up and it takes off, and it actually is able to make some money if it takes off. And so like right here we saw that's exactly what happened. It came in, and the news trade came out, and it took off, and then it came back down a little bit. But right before the news, I mean, this thing just took off. And I mean, that's really where the money was on the trade. But the only reason this works is because we're going in. We're not being directional because you have no idea what's going to happen on news.
Yes.
And if you're not, I used to avoid the news. I would get out, or I would tighten my stops.
Right. Right.
15 minutes before, 15 minutes after. Just the bus is coming. Let it cross the street first.
Yeah.
And but now it's like you just hop in and you're like,
no, you want
direction.
No, you want
yeah.
No, I'm with you. What happens, folks, and this is what's important, I was explaining those boxes are set up. So now picture this for a second. Right now we were just talking about how Europe's down versus folks might take bounce right now. And this is how sick it is, okay? And what you have, so if it starts bouncing, he's going to be able to get something on the other side or break even too. That's what's so crazy about how this is set up, Darrell. Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh, because I've taken my profit on my long.
Exactly.
My short is at maximum loss. It can't lose anything else.
Exactly.
So I leave it there. The thing goes back the other direction, which does happen. We've seen it happen.
Oh, yeah.
Goes back, and you could actually either break even, which means just more profit because you didn't give up
exactly.
that. Or, I mean, if you're riding it down, you actually can end up making money on the other side.
Yeah, no, there's no doubt. There's no doubt. And what you have, folks, is this, is that the move, see, what you have out here right now is this. When you gap down, this is, I mean, my take is that we're going to go a lot lower, the downtrend just started. But what happens is this. When you gap down or gap up in the currencies like this, okay, what happens is that it loses a huge amount of energy, folks. What happens is that, we're at 10:12 Eastern Standard Time right now. The market only has about another 45 minutes to 60 minutes to really make another move. That's what's going on. Because what will end up happening, and this is where Apple is going to be important inside the NDX 100, because see, inside the NDX 100, the biggest mover right now is Rheingold Resources, and that's a dead cat bounce. It's up $1.83. Don't touch that thing, okay? That's a dead cat bounce. But see, Apple's not breaking those lows. So if Apple doesn't break those lows out today, and it doesn't look like they're going to, the market's not going to bounce much, but it will bounce enough to, basically have some short covering come in, because the shorts already made so much money just on the gap down. So it's going to be interesting watching this whole thing shake out, man. The overseas last night, folks. Okay, let me tell you something. The Hang Seng is a monster ABC down. Blew away the B point, blew away with volume, all of the above. It's a 2,000 point ABC down, by the way. Okay, so it's you're talking big numbers, and the way that's set up right now, that'll go break the 20,000 low, 20,700 low from October. So there's real action out here, man. If you're a trader, if you're not a trader, you better get your stops in. I can tell you that. If you're a trader, yeah.
You
have there's a little field day that I suspect we're going to have the next 4, 5, 6 months out here. So,
well, the whole, yeah. I mean, it's what I mean. A lot of people aren't traders because they're so afraid of the risk, right?
Yes. Yes.
And rightfully so. I mean, you see moves like that. I mean, we've seen some. I mean, yesterday we had a 5 deviation move on the USD yen.
Really? Oh, and the yen. Yeah. Oh, man, what a trip. No,
I mean, it was an insane
a 5
move.
Deviation, and that's because the yen went up 2.2%, which is insane, folks. That's unheard of.
I had to sit down and like calculate it because I'm like, we're past 3, and I usually don't ever look at past 3. I mean, look right here. I mean, we're at USD CAD right now, right?
Yes.
We literally went right up, and this is, I mean, rarely do we ever see this. Basically, this is a 99.3% of the time it won't pass 3. Okay?
Right.
And right up here, I mean, our high is 1.0235. My 3 deviation level, I mean, it calls it basically to the tick right there. Right here, let me pull this, go into it, I'll bring it and go into the details on it because it's pretty simple, and it makes it easy. Is we give you we give you 3 things. One, we give you tutorials.
Yes.
Because a lot of people are brand new and they're like, I have no idea what you're talking about. How does this work? And so I have like whole getting started, step-by-step basics to walk you through things, and this is going to help you. There's the deviation levels because we even list out the futures and the 4 basically implied volatility based levels, and implied is, this sounds like a big word, implied volatility, but really implied means expected, volatility means movement. So it's basically how far the market expects the market to move.
Okay.
And that's built into the premium of options. Sort of like an insurance company charges premium by how many wrecks they think somebody's likely to get in based on where they live and how old they are and what their record is.
Yes.
How much it thinks the market's going to learn. That's why they're so accurate, because it's S&P go from like a 14-point deviation in one day. So
because
it's
dynamic. The market's dynamic. There's no doubt. Right.
And so, I mean, yesterday could have been 14 points, but it's saying today is going to be 7. So, I mean, it really is looking forward, not backwards.
Yeah.
Well, along with that, and that's really helpful, too, for knowing, like, where to take profits, to set realistic actions on profits,
yes.
where to tighten your stops. So it's sort of overwhelmed. So I got sick of basically having to sit down and do all the math and figure out all the spreads.
Right.
And so I hired some programmers to hop on and, help me out and help me get all this done. And basically what it does, it pulls all the data from the Nadex exchange. And think of it like sort of like an option scanner, except for these aren't near as complicated as options. And it's just helping you find the right trades for whatever it is you want to do. And when we come back from this break, I'll show you how it works.
Appreciate you growling and prowling with us, folks. If you 1 o'clock today, 1 to 1 off 19.
Moderate, or aggressive. No matter your investor personality, your overall portfolio should reflect your financial goals, time horizon, and your risk tolerance. Help ensure your portfolio is appropriately invested with an asset allocation plan from Morgan Stanley Wealth Management. Simply picking the right stocks is not a research has shown. Morgan Stanley and Clearwater, Florida branch at 727-441-6108 today to discuss your personal financial needs. Asset allocation does not assure a profit or protect against loss in declining financial markets. Investments and services are offered through Morgan Stanley Wealth Management, LLC. Member SIPC.
Tiger TV. TFNN has brought our programming to the next level. With Tiger TV, you can gain access to each host's charts. It's Tom O'Brien, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Ken Shreve, David White, Larry Pesavento, Victor Jones, or Darrell Martin. You can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on Tiger TV for your viewing pleasure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't checked out Tiger TV, then visit TFNN.com and see what you're missing.
You take a hands-on approach to managing your investment strategy. You're always looking for the next trading opportunity to magnify your perspective. Direction Shares connects sophisticated traders with a powerful array of ETFs from a wide range of asset classes. The markets may go up and down, and you want tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor, Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen, live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den, absolutely free, for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
McEwen Mining is a high-growth, mid-tier producer in the Americas with a market capitalization of $1 billion. Experienced mining executive Rob McEwen, as chairman, CEO, and president, owns 25% of the outstanding shares of McEwen Mining and has put in place an ambitious business plan with the goal of qualifying for inclusion in the S&P 500 by 2015. With $70 million in cash and liquid assets as of the end of 2012 and completely debt-free, McEwen Mining is poised for growth. Production in 2013 is forecasted to grow at 24%, reaching 130,000 gold equivalent ounces, and over the next 3 years, McEwen Mining projects that their production will increase to 290,000 gold equivalent ounces, almost a threefold increase from last year's totals. If you'd like to find out more about McEwen Mining, click on their banner on the front page of TFNN.com or check them out on the NYSE or TSX under the symbol MUX.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. Darrell Martin, Tom O'Brien. Appreciate you growling and prowling out here with us. Don't forget, folks, if you do happen to be in the New England area, Darrell and I are going to be up there May 11th. We're waiting for the warm weather to get up there. Those poor people up there, Darrell, I'm telling you, man, it's pretty amazing. It's been a long winter, man, and it's bottom line, folks. May 11th, though, we're going to be at the Boston Marriott. That's in Burlington, Mass, folks. The Boston Marriott. Nadex is sponsoring a workshop. We're going to be there from 8:30 in the morning to 12:30. It's a free workshop. We're giving away about $3,000 worth of prizes, including 10 ounces of silver, 10 half ounces of silver, Darrell's diagnostic scanner, newsletters, my book, the whole ball of wax. We're right now, Darrell is he's walking us through how this actual scanner works and why it's so valuable. Cooking, brother.
All right. So what we got right here on the scanner is we have all the markets in Nadex.
Yes.
Live feeding. Okay. And if you're in the Nadex platform, you're over here and you're trying to make choices on what you're going to do, and how to pick the right spread, which can be a little bit challenging.
Yes.
Because there's so many of them. So you go in here and you're like, okay, I want to trade US CAD, and all of a sudden you got you have to refresh. If you forget to do that, it doesn't show up. And so whatever market you're wanting to trade, S&P, CAD, whatever. So there's 3, 6, 9. There's 10 spreads I got to analyze right there.
Right.
Or I go over to the bull spreads. I'm looking at the S&P. There's 3, 6, 9. And then there's another 4 right there. So now I'm like, what? There's like 13 spreads I'm trying to figure out. And that's long and short.
Yes. And
then to figure it out, I'm opening it up. I can either do the math by manually looking at it and calculating it all in my head, which is a lot of math on 13 spreads on 4 different pages. Or I can open them all up individually. It'll do the math for me. Or, which as you can see right there, like when you're ready to buy, if your signal on your chart says buy or sell,
yes,
you don't have time to go and look through 13 different spreads to figure out what you want to do.
Right.
And so I simply go over here and I go, you know what? I want to buy, I want to sell, whatever it is I want to do. So like, let's say I'm looking at euro dollar and I'm like, I want to buy. Then I can go in here and I can click buy. I click euro dollar.
Yeah.
And I'll choose, say, like a risk reward ratio of whatever I want to do. But it'll narrow down the spreads. Here are the spreads. Here's how long each of them has till expiration: 33 minutes, 93 minutes, 273 minutes.
Which is sweet, yeah.
And so I can instantly know, well, if that's too short of a time, then I don't like it, And then I can go over here and I go, this is one of the most important things in trading on Nadex, or trading any kind of option, really. But on Nadex, it's simple because they're last day options, so there's not a ton of premium in them anyway.
I know, right.
But one of the things I've been playing with, and one of the things we talk about, which is obviously very cool, is like you don't have to get stopped out of a trade.
Right.
Market can go against you, you don't have to get stopped out. But another thing is a lot of people like to go and they like to be scalpers. There's nothing wrong with it. They like to go and they got 10, 20 pips and they're out.
Well,
right?
Especially in this market. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And so that can be difficult, because I've talked to people. That can be difficult. They're going and they're trying to find a trade. They want to get out, say 20 pips later.
Yes.
And then all they see is like this 10-pip spread that says it has to move 10 pips.
Okay.
Well, now they've given up 10 of their 20 pips.
Right.
And so they're like, well, I don't know if that's really going to work for me, on the trades. So they're trying to figure out what to do. And they think they have to find the one that's close to the floor ceiling and they won't get stopped out.
Okay.
And so one of the things I've been doing a lot of training on, teaching people on, is, and people forget about this, But Nadex, you're getting insanely massive leverage.
Right.
Okay? You have 100% defined risk, and you have lower and better margin.
Right.
Okay? One of the benefits, in addition to those three things, is you don't have to get stopped out of a trade.
Right.
But you can choose to take a stop. And so people look at this and think, it's like looking at max reward and going, I'm going to make that reward. Well, I mean, the market has to move that far. How realistic is it that you're going to get max reward? Okay?
Right.
Well, max risk doesn't mean that's my max risk. I mean, technically, if you buy the euro dollar, technically you're risking $12,000, right? $13,000. So it doesn't really mean you're risking that much money, because if you're going to take a stop, obviously you're not risking that much. So you just have leverage. So you only have to put up, now if you're doing euro dollar, you have to put up, $280 or something like that to place a mini lot trade to control basically 10,000 units of euros or $13,000. You have to put about $280. Well, right here, and this is one of the coolest things, if people will grab this, if they figure it out, is I can go in, I can trade, and I can do a euro dollar trade that expires at 12 or expires at 3.
Yes.
It's only 1 or 2 pips away from break even.
Folks, that's insane, right?
And my margin is $58 or $88.
Yes.
Okay, so it doesn't have to be my risk. I could get out if it goes 10 ticks or 20 ticks against me. But now I don't have to worry about having to move 10 pips. And sometimes it may not even be that much. Look at both sides.
Right.
Like right over here, here's one that literally is 0. It's trading on par with the underlying market.
And folks, this is so cool because I trade this euro dollar a lot, and even in the futures market, and it's a beautiful thing. And in the bigger contracts, that's what you're trading. But what Darrell's talking about here, it is almost, well, it's not unheard of now, but the bottom line is that if you in those currencies, get over to Nadex. Darrell Martin, Tom O'Brien, you stay right there. We'll come right back. Get this bounce coming in the market, folks. We're going to be right back.
Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, gives you Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. With Market Insights, nothing is left to guessing. With the market at record levels, volatility is here, and now is a perfect time to take advantage of a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights. As recently as March 26th, Tom advised his subscribers to liquidate their 4 short-term equity holdings, closing out all 4 positions for a combined 15.9% profit. And on April 1st, Tom advised his clients to sell their longer-term position in AIG warrants, locking in more than a 40% profit in just that one trade. If you'd like to see the kind of newsletter Tom O'Brien sends out to his subscribers each morning, then sign up for your 2-week free trial to Market Insights today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com.
No matter where you listen to TFNN programming, we want you to know that you can always access your favorite shows on demand through TFNN.com. TFNN airs live programming every market day from 9 till 6 p.m. Eastern, and you can view each program by accessing Tiger TV through our homepage. We even have an easy link for all mobile devices, including iPhones and iPads, located at the top right of the TFNN homepage. But if you don't have a mobile connection that keeps up with streaming live video, then you can simply visit TFNN.mobi in the browser of your smartphone for live streaming audio of all of our programs. The mission of TFNN is to educate our audience directly and interactively through our interactive website and call-in radio talk shows. TFNN is able to teach all levels of investors the technical skills needed for trading in today's marketplace. In order to get the best information available, TFNN has assembled the most respected financial minds in the country to provide the most current news and comprehensive advice available. TFNN.com. Educating investors.
Darrell Martin coined the phrase diagnostic trading, and we're happy to announce that his diagnostic box spread analyzer has finally been released. The Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer helps you easily identify the best box spreads on Nadex in seconds, plus you receive access to the diagnostic deviation levels, as well as step-by-step training videos teaching you how to trade Nadex spreads so you can quickly master the mechanics of this simple yet powerful trading instrument. By pulling live data from the Nadex exchange, the Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer does all the math for you, calculating risk, reward potential, distance to break even for both outright spreads and spreads used to hedge the underlying market. Visit the front page of TFNN.com today to get your 2-week free trial to Darrell Martin's Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer and gain access to the valuable information it can provide when trading the Nadex box spreads. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's Nadex.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
This segment is brought to you by Crocodile Gold. For more information, just click the Crocodile Gold banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. Dow, Martin, Tom O'Brien. Appreciate you growling and prowling out here with us. Right now, you get the Dow off $137, Nasdaq's down 41, S&Ps are down 16, and in the context of the downtrend, folks, it's it's really not that much compared to the rest of the world. The Dow, this Dow, man,
not that much. It's just 15 points, you know.
Yeah,
compared to everything, that's nothing right now, man. They're like double that. So,
exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, and all it does, folks, is, and this is where the Nadex product comes in. This is where basically trading comes in. You know, bottom line is that movement in the marketplace for traders is absolutely where it's at. Okay, when you don't have movement, bottom line, you know, there's not as many opportunities. When you have movement, two different things end up happening. Number one, you got to make sure you take the money. Okay, you don't sit there and not take the money. And I, you know, you kind of have to learn that, okay, folks? But bottom line is that years ago, I remember I had Buzzy Swartz on in 1996, I think. Yeah, it was 96 or 95. And his whole deal was always ringing the bell. And that's the name of the game, folks. Ring the bell, okay? You know, it's amazing. But, you know what's so funny is that last night, I don't know, maybe 3 o'clock in the morning, what tends to happen, folks, when you're in this market all the time, you tend to wake up at least for a few minutes at 3 o'clock in the morning by just very, you know, because Europe's opening. And, you know, I just looked up quickly and said, okay, man, you know, what's happening here? But it was so funny, Joe, because I started thinking, I was thinking of him. I says, oh, yeah, we're going to have some action here this morning. Do you know what I mean? So it's funny how it works, folks. But yeah, it is. I know. It's pretty sick, actually.
I had no problem getting up this morning, man. I was up out of bed like at 5 a.m. I was like, well, let's go.
Yeah, so. No. It is no doubt, because what does happen is this, folks, is that when you're getting the movement and you're a trader, two different things happen. Patience is the name of the game, but then once there's action, it's no sleep. It's like, okay, let's go, man. Let's get into this, and let's get into this in a big way. You know, so I suspect what you're going to have out here today, what's going to be interesting is that even if there's a little bit more movement, to me, you could actually sell this gold market right now too. This, you know, gold popped, folks, but gold is not done on the way down yet. You know, they've sucked this in so many times. It's going to be disgusting again. You know, what we've done out here is this. You bounced today with 111,000 contracts. Not even close. It needs like 200,000 contracts. It's not even going to. It couldn't even hold the 1577 mark. That's insane. It only hit 1576. You know, all of this is, well, it already is a large ABC down. You know, your A point on this is almost 1,700. Your B point is 1556. You know, so you got $1.40. $1.40 coming off the 1620 gives you 1480. You know, so it already broke the B point. It was vicious when it broke it. So, bottom line is that we got lower prices coming at us here. There's no doubt about it. there's a question in the den about platinum, and what I definitely would do, if you're going to buy a precious metal, that's the metal to buy. Platinum right now is at $15.25 versus $15.63. And see, what I would also do is this. I think the opportunity in the metals, it's getting close, okay? But if you're actually going to buy the metals, what you want to do is actually buy the metal. Buy the physical metal. And this is why. Two different things end up happening. You're going to hold it, and you're not going to trade it, so you'll be able to make some money. And why? Because if it's not, if it's not a piece of paper inside your account, you're not going to go back and forth. The platinum, on a historical basis, will be over gold. That's almost a no-brainer. It's been down under gold twice in about the last 18 years. So it's underneath it now. Platinum, folks, is much harder to mine than gold. And so if you're going to do it, that's where I'd go. I wouldn't buy any of them right now, flat out.
When I was, when me and my wife were getting married.
Yes.
Or I guess, getting everything ready, and there's a jeweler here in Dallas. She's really cool, and hooks us up. And so we went over there, and we actually designed our rings, had them custom made.
Nice. And
we had them made out of platinum.
Yeah.
And so we didn't put in my order, and all that stuff, and paid for it. Well, she had, she was working on the ring caster, like casting the ring and getting the diamonds. Her family owns the diamond cutting mine, or not,
yes.
Not the mines, but the plants in Israel, and several of the plants over there.
Right.
And so she had the diamond, she had everything ready, but she forgot to buy the platinum.
Oh.
Like she hadn't got around to it.
Oh man.
We come back a couple months later to pick up the rings.
Yeah.
And she took a little and she was really cool about it. She said, "Hey, I sold it to you for this. Is what it is." She's like, "I'm just letting you know, I made a mistake," but she ended up eating it $300-400 in cost on the metal because she didn't buy her platinum at the right time.
Oh, let me tell you, the extension in platinum, folks. Okay, if we go back here, 2005 platinum's at $770, goes all the way up to $2,200, then back down to $760. Back up to $1,900. Platinum
it's insane.
Is volatile beyond belief. But at Lowe's, folks, if you want to accumulate something, I would accumulate platinum. I love platinum, man. It's what happens is this. When you really get into the fundamentals, folks, what happens is this. So picture this. An ounce of gold, right, takes about 10 tons of dirt. Okay, that's an ounce of gold. Think about this. That's why even with the 1564, it's cheap on a longer-term basis. Okay, it's 10 tons of dirt. You can imagine it. Now, an ounce of platinum, whole different ballgame. Because what happens with platinum is this: is that to get it out of the ore is one of the hardest things in the world. And there's only 3 large platinum. Well, they're not even large mines, but there's 3 large mines. So the value inside platinum is harder to get. There's less of it in a huge way, and it gets used, folks. What happens with platinum is that it's used to take, it's one of the metals that can take poison and eat poison. That's why it's so valuable, really. Do you know what I mean? So, and it's beautiful. Bottom line is that, anytime that platinum is under gold and you're going to buy metal, I'd buy platinum. What does happen if you're buying coins, the actual coin value, premium on platinum is wicked expensive. If you're just buying it for an investment, I wouldn't buy the coins. They're gorgeous. They're beautiful. Okay, if you want something that's beauty, do that. If you just want the value, just buy the metal. Buy the flats, because when you're selling it, you're going to get the same. That's what ends up happening. That's it's easy to buy things, but trying to sell it after the fact.
You buy for that premium, then you're going to be basically giving up the premium.
You give up the premium, and it doesn't matter. What tends to happen. The only time, this is what ends up happening, folks, is that there will be a premium in it if, in fact, it goes down so far. That's what ends up happening. But the premium gets sucked out of it when it actually goes up. So if you have the actual bar versus the coin, when it actually goes to higher price, you're going to get almost the same price for the bar or the coin, because what ends up happening, the dealers at that particular point turn around and just say, well, hold it, it is what it is. When it goes dramatically lower, what happens is that the dealers can't get, as no one will sell, so they will pay more for the coin versus the bar. So it's just the opposite of what you actually think how it should shake out. You know, and I think what you're going to see on this flush out here, and this is what's really wild about it, and that's why I'm pushing people into a physical versus just buying paper, is that the flush out will probably get gold close to what it actually takes to get gold out of the ground. That's how bizarre this is going to be, you know. And it's like, oh, really? Yeah, and, you know, that's what it seems like. Because we're getting close right now, 1565. To get all-in gold out of the ground right now, folks, is about 1150. That's that, you know, so that spread is coming down dramatically, you know. So it's going to be wild watching this whole thing shake out, man.
Go ahead.
No,
what I was looking at was on the spreads. It's just helping people out on those.
Yes.
And showing them the scanner here.
Yes.
I just wanted to make sure we wrap that up.
No, cool. Yes.
So, you know, maybe you're like looking at ES and like you're like, I want to buy, but I want to buy a falling knife.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, because this is a scary point to buy.
Yeah.
If you think there's going to be a bounce off of this level. I mean, we're down at 1.5 deviations right now.
Yep.
Market's falling. You're getting RSI divergences popping up all over the place. I mean, it's a place that, you know, a lot of signals say buy. But you also don't want to be in there and all of a sudden it falls another 1.5% before the day is over.
Because what Darrell is saying, what does happen on a day like today, folks, if it holds, like right now, you know, it looks like it wants to hold. But if it doesn't hold, you get down a whole nother leg. You know, I mean, you won't get down a small amount. You're going to get down a freaking monster amount.
Exactly. And so, you know, how do you trade that? You know, without like being in absolute like fear. Yeah. And so what you do is you hop on over to Nadex and you can buy a spread.
Right.
So you can go over here, you can buy the spread, or you can do, there's two things you can do. One is you can buy the spread. You can find one that's like maybe a point away from break even, $30 risk.
Yes.
You know, that's not bad at all. So it's like basically having, if you did 5 of them, you know, that'd be like having a few point stop loss, which is pretty reasonable right now on the market. But you can actually make, you know, like 6 points on the way up. Also a reasonable move. So you have those spreads that you could be checking out. And then the other thing you can do, a lot of people don't even think about it, they forget about it all the time, is you could buy the future and you could sell the spreads to hedge you.
Right.
And I think this is probably one of my favorite strategies on Nadex.
Okay.
So I can go in here and here's this trade right here. I got $137 risk on the trade and 0.1 distance to profit. Okay. And that's my risk if it were to fall completely against me. Okay.
Wow. Right.
But it's not my risk just for getting in the trade. I mean, if it moves up literally less than 1 tick, I'm in profit. Okay? So, I mean, it makes money very, very fast. And by doing that, I can hedge myself. And the thing is, people think they need to go in and they need to buy, like, the big hedge.
Yes.
If I'm looking for a bounce, I don't need a big hedge. I just want to, like, reduce my risk in case I'm wrong and it falls on me like 5 or 10 points.
That's right.
I want to be covered on the trade. But I don't need a big hedge on the trade. If it does go up, I don't need the hedge anymore at all. I'm going to be trailing my stop. So you just need that hedge, that initial movement where you think you're at that point where it's either going to fly up or fly down.
Right.
And then when it finally makes its move, either, you know, hey, it's going to fly down, your spread's making money, you know, your future's losing money, you close it out, you take a very small loss.
Yes.
You know, or it starts flying up in your direction and you don't even care about the spread anymore. So now you're just trailing the stop on the future. When you get out of that, leave that spread on in case it does go back, you can make money in that direction as well. Sort of like on the news trade, but you're directional, but with a reduced risk.
Yeah, it's amazing the amount of tools that Nadex platform has, folks. And, you know, if you're just getting used to it, okay, you know, Darrell's getting really sophisticated out here, no doubt. But what does happen is that it's the spreads themselves. What will happen is this, and when you test drive the Nadex platform, what you're going to want to do is do the binaries, okay? I suggest that get into your head into the spreads because you know the binaries, yeah, red or green, but the bottom line is that the spreads, you're not going to be hitting grand slams, okay? But what you're going to be doing on a continual basis, and not singles either. I mean, there's plenty of doubles all day long, but the difference is that you really get to understand how they move and how the markets move. So you're going to bring your risks down dramatically. You're going to bring your probability of making money up, but what you're really going to do is you're going to understand the math behind them, which is pretty cool. Do you know what I mean? Because once you do a few of them, you know, that's what you want to understand. And you know, when you're listening to Darrell, he understands the math between even he's bringing it 5 different steps there. Okay, but I can tell you this: you're not going to get to that where he's going right now, folks. So
step 1 is you're going to go. The only reason I bring that up, that the hedge strategy that I talk about, that's for if you're already a futures trader, okay, and you want to scalp. Or you want to hedge.
I understand.
But if you're new into trading, you want to stick 100% with spreads.
Right. And even I can tell you this: even the futures traders, you're blowing them away. And it's cool. It's cool. I'm not saying that.
It's no different. It's no different than a married put on a stock.
I understand that. Okay, but that's see what happens is that when you're an options trader and you get there, it's awesome. There's no doubt about it. I'm just trying to, when people listen
if you're an options and a futures trader, this is like a walk in the park. If you're brand new to trading or you're just a futures trader or if you're just an options trader, there's a little bit of a learning curve. But the nice thing is the risk is low and the tools make it really easy to
And it's there. No, I agree. Let me tell you something. There's no doubt about it. And, there's no 2 ways about it.
I so wish when I would have started trading, I would have started trading Nadex versus futures.
Oh, that's a fact.
I would have saved myself so much money.
Listen, everyone. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
And the reason, folks, is that you can be wrong many times in a row, as long as, because your risk is real defined risk. It's not the risk that I'm going to put it on and here's my stop. Your trade is your stop. That's
and you can't mess yourself. I mean, how many times? We've all been there. Okay, we've moved our stop, and then we moved it again.
Oh yeah.
And then we moved it again.
Oh yeah.
And you can't do that because when you put the trade on, your risk is capped. It's there.
Right.
I can't take on more risk on the same trade, and so it sort of keeps you in check, which is one of the biggest things you have to overcome as a trader. Especially when you're first learning, even when you've been doing it for a decade, it doesn't matter. You still have that tendency to want to, man, I'm looking at this and this RSI divergence, and it's probably going to bounce, and you can't mess with it. It's there. Your risk is, capped.
You can't mess with it. It's a beautiful thing.
You can't mess with yourself.
It's a beautiful thing. Listen, folks, if you happen to be in New England, come up and visit Darrell and myself. We're going to be at the Boston Marriott in Burlington, May 11th, 8:30 in the morning to 12:30, sponsored by Nadex. You stay right there. We'll come right back.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pesavento's new trading newsletter, Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind. In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the forex market, and more. And you'll get the Technical Corner segment, which is a short but powerful weekly training session on trading. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you just the edge you've been looking for. Try Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind absolutely free for 2 weeks. Go to TFNN.com and click on the free trial link at the top of the page. That's an $85 value, yours free when you register right now. Get Larry's Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind and get the edge you've been looking for.
Tom O'Brien's weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, has helped subscribers for over 10 years navigate the high-risk world of exploring and producing gold companies. And now's a great time to sign up for a free month-long trial to see the kind of insight that Tom delivers for his subscribers on a weekly basis. Every Monday, Tom O'Brien issues a quick update on the metal market, giving you his take on the HUI, XAU, GLD, dollar, bonds, and much more. Tom follows Monday's update with a full gold report, which is delivered to subscribers Tuesday afternoon with detailed coverage of 24 separate gold or metal stocks, as well as another 10 to 15 stocks that he lets you know are on his potential watch list. Get your month-long free trial to the Gold Report today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Don't spend another year navigating the metal markets on your own. Act early in 2013 and make the most of your gold and metal market investments. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Let me tell you something, folks. I have people coming up to me saying, I just can't believe the amount of work that Steve does on his newsletter. And I says, I absolutely agree.
That is a recent clip from the Money Masters show that Tom and I do each day at TFNN. My newsletter service, Mastering Probability, is much, much more than a newsletter. Yes, it's outperformed the S&P 500 by 100% during the last 15 months. But more importantly, it's an extraordinary education, a roadmap for your success. And it's yours risk-free for the next 30 days. Just go to the homepage of TFNN.com and click on my name, Steve Rhodes, and then Mastering Probability, because everyone needs a success strategy. For most, it's a competitive edge, the will to win, the drive to overcome any obstacle. Whatever you call it, winners find a way. Find your way to Mastering Probability today, because your journey to extraordinary rewards is just one click away.
Catch Basil Chapman as he uses his Chapman Wave methodology to call the markets. The Tiger Technicians Hour, next on TFNN.
Welcome back, folks. Darrell Martin, Tom O'Brien. Appreciate you growling and prowling with us. And can you say boing? And let me show you something, folks. That you're gonna see it, and right in the cues, no doubt. You're gonna see in the cues. This is what you have. Okay, so the last 10-minute bar, someone came in, 2.2 million cues. You're going to see a little bounce out here, folks. And I tell you, you got to love this market, man. I mean, this is where, folks, when you get a gap down, tighten everything up. You want to basically take the bread, especially on a Friday afternoon, take the bread, let it go all the way up, let it bounce, deviance beyond belief, and then sell the heck out of it at the end of the day again. This is going to be a trip watching this whole thing shake out, man. It really is, man. And what happens, by the way, folks, is that you get that correlation. So when that's going up, what you're going to see is that you're going to see the bonds were up $1.15 to 30 years. That's going to be going down. You're going to see gold pulling back. You're going to see the euro pulling back. You're going to see here, let's go over to the dollar for a second, because the dollar has been building cause for higher price. And yeah, you see, this is cool, man. So check this out, folks. So the dollar index has pulled back with 22,000 contracts. That's nothing, okay? What happens is this. 22,000 contracts is going into 50,000, okay? And all it's doing is it's testing the swing point that was, well, there's two different things happening here. If you have a swing point on the 25th, that's a bad tick. That dollar did not go down to 81.83. I still have it on my charts, actually. We did get down to 82.23 on that dollar index, though, on the 15th. And that's what it's doing. So it's going to, we got the action out here. That's the bottom line. I know, man. I'm telling you.
Money was in the morning, man. It was awesome, and now the thing's bouncing around and going back. So it's giving you a good chance.
You can do a couple different things. The trade, folks, is sit there and do nothing until the very end of the day. And if you get the bounce and it comes right under, well, two different things. And this is what's so cool about this. Here, we can do this quick. If we do the Qs first, what you're going to see is this. The Qs, no doubt, can, we're at the 67, 60. That can get up to, I'd love it to see actually hit 68.06. What you're going to need, though, simultaneously, see, this is going to be interesting, folks. This is why. We are at, okay, so it's breaking 33 million. Yeah, we'll do 33 million. But it can bounce that far. Let's go to Ilka in Boston. Hey, Ilka, what's going on?
Hey, Tom. How are you?
I'm doing great. How you been?
Not bad. Busy, but not bad.
That's a beautiful thing. We like that.
How are you? I heard you guys coming to Boston.
We're coming to Boston. May 11th, we'll be there.
I'll try to sign up. I have to see my schedule, but I would love to see you in there and actually just to see how you guys
Absolutely.
So I'm calling since you're coming to Boston. I just heard, I just actually turned you on, so I didn't hear anything else, but I heard you were talking about $1.
Yep.
And euro. What do you think of the euro?
I think the euro, I'd sell the euro at 131.62. Right now we're at 130.32.
So I have a bet for you.
Okay.
I will say the euro will not see... Hold on one second.
What happened last time? Last time you were bullish the euro, and I was bearish. I got it all the way down.
Yeah, no, that's you know, every day is different. So 127.44 is the low, right?
Yeah, right around there. I have 127.51, but that's cool.
Okay, so that low will not be hit before the 134. Let's bet that.
No, I didn't say 134, Ilka. I said 131.
I will say 134, even higher.
I'm not going to go to 130. The euro's not going to...
The euro will go to 134 before it breaks the low.
Okay. Well, before... Okay, cool. I'll take it. You stay right there, folks. Man, that was a quick... Darrell, thanks so much, man.